Are you somebody, as you listen today, who feels that there's just no way forward? Have you lost a little bit of hope? Well, can I encourage you that with God there is always a way. Nothing is impossible with God. He can move mountains. He can change minds. He can multiply resources. He can transform your circumstances. He has got a purpose for your life. He is always with you as you follow him. He provides success so that as you cry out to God in prayer, committing your problems, concerns to him in faith, as God's people, stumbling blocks become stepping stones. Battles become victory. For God in love will never desert you or leave you. Instead, as we face a situation of life and we take God's hand, we become more than conquerors. We become overcomers in Jesus Christ. Joseph risked everything by refusing to compromise his belief in his principles and God's purpose for him in Genesis 39. And as a result, he suffered mockery and persecution, eventually being sold into slavery and later cast into prison. Yet despite his hardship, his faith in God remained steadfast. He trusted God, he persevered, and God eventually raised him up to rule the land of Egypt in Genesis 41. David, as a young man, refused to compromise his obedience to God in terms of God's plans and purposes for his life. And as a result, he lost everything, being forced into exile, persecuted in 1 Samuel 19. But he could still turn and say, "The Lord is my shepherd." David's faith remained firm, even if things always didn't make sense to him, and God blessed him and gave him the kingdom. Daniel the prophet risked everything by refusing to compromise his obedience, trust and honor to God. And as a result, he was slandered and thrown into a lion's den. But he trusted God, and God raised him up to rule over Babylon in Daniel 6. And it's always been like that for God's people. In Hebrews 11:32, the writer says of this thought, "And what more shall I say? I do not have time to tell about Gideon and Barak and Samson and Jephthah, David, Samuel and the prophets, who through faith conquered kingdoms, administered justice, and gained what was promised, who shut the mouths of lions and quenched the fury of the flames, and escaped the edge of the sword, whose weakness was turned to strength, and who became powerful in battle and routed foreign armies." Wow. Can I encourage you in your situation today, whatever it is, to continually trust God and never give up, even when things don't make sense to you. In everything, honor God. Never compromise your Christian stand. And God will bless you and see you through.